స్పర్శతో నన్ను దీవించుము దేవాని స్పర్శతో నన్ను తాకుము.
Good morning, dear friends. The common theme that runs in both the readings is encountering God's transforming power. In the first reading, Hebrews chapter 4, verses 1 to 5 and 11, we are reminded that God's rest is available to us. However, we must make every effort to enter that rest by combining faith. This reading encourages us to trust in God's promise and to strive for a deeper relationship with Him. In Mark chapter 2, verses 1 to 11, we see the power of faith in action. The paralytic man's friends demonstrate their faith by bringing him to Jesus and making a way for him to be healed. Jesus sees their faith and forgives the man's sins and then heals him. This reading reminds us that faith can move mountains and bring about healing and restoration. In both readings, we see obstacles to faith. In first reading, the obstacle is disobedience, while in gospel, it is the crowd and the skepticism of the teachers of the law. These readings encourage us to overcome obstacles to faith and to trust in God's power and promises, and also helps us to respond to God's call in our lives. Today's readings invites us to encounter God's transforming power in our lives. In Hebrews, we are reminded that God's rest is not just a physical state, but a spiritual one that transforms us. In Mark's Gospel, Jesus' healing of the paralytic man demonstrates his power to transform lives. As we reflect on these readings, let us ask ourselves, the transformative power of God is not limited to physical healing, but extends to emotional, spiritual, and relational healing as well. Our willingness to surrender to God's will and plans can be a catalyst for transformation in our lives. The encounter between Jesus and the paralytic man highlights the importance of human dignity and value of every human life. God's transforming power often requires us to let go of our strength and self-reliance and instead trust in His power and providence. The transformative power of God can also be seen in the ways we are called to transform our world through acts of justice, compassion, and love. Our transformation is not just for our own benefit, but also for the benefit of those around us, as we become agents of transformation in our communities. The transformative power of God is not a one-time event, but an ongoing process that requires our continual surrender, trust, and cooperation. Let us pause for a while and reflect upon these questions. What role does faith play in our encounter with God's transforming power? How can we create space for God's transforming power to work in our lives? What are the ways in which God's transforming power can bring us freedom, and liberation? How can we trust in God's timing and plan for our lives even when we don't understand what's happening around us?